welcome to Gamers Down Under episode 8. I'm Laman.
Steve.
And
we have a guest with us tonight. Again, we're another reoccurring guest.
James here.
Yes.
And hopefully this time, Steve, you'll actually let him talk.
Oh, we'll see.
You'll get on to another rant.
Actually, you might be safe tonight. I'm not into a ranty mood. I'm feeling okay today.
No internet issues?
Oh, good point. Good point. That'll come.
He sits there in a poop outfit. Don't worry, guys. I'll put that onto the page. I'll just take a photo right now. All right. So what we'll do, we'll start off again what we've been doing gaming this week. So, Steve, you can take over.
Ooh,
actually, no, you know what?
Oh.
Not Steve. No, we don't care about Steve here. James, what have you been up to?
Last week, I was playing a bit of Burnout Paradise on the PS4.
Ooh.
I think I posted something up on the page earlier last week.
What do you think of Paradise?
At first, I hated it because it was so much different than 3, Revenge, the PSP games, which I absolutely loved.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the open world game, very different. When I first played it on the Xbox 360, I absolutely hated it. It took me about 3 years to give it another go, and then I started to like it because that was more the norm.
And what console are you playing it on now?
So I picked it up at Cash Converters for like $9 on the PS4, and I was just thinking to myself, why are they bringing out a remastered version? It's not that old. It still looks good on the PS3, but it was clearly a cash grab, but it still got me at $9, and I ended up beating that as well.
That's actually pretty good, like $9
Yeah.
for a full game.
You can't go wrong.
Bought quite a bit from Cash Converters as well, so they actually do normally have some pretty good deals, if you know the prices.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
That's the one thing you got to make sure you actually, you son of a bitch.
That wasn't me. I was saving it.
I thought it was you for sure. I was wondering why you
the
went.
page?
Yeah, it was the
Bloody
page.
mute the phone.
Oh, I thought it was you. That's why you turned your camera off, so I couldn't see you.
No. I'm actually just uploading it, the poop photo.
Yeah, back before I got rudely interrupted, I was the same. Like Burnout Paradise, it was, I wasn't ready for it. I think I when it first came out, I don't want to say it pushed the boundaries because I don't believe it was a boundary pusher, but maybe it got there too soon because it sort of is. It's something that you can come back to now and play. Or maybe it was because the games before, they kept building on each other, kept getting better and better, and then it come to that one, I was like, oh man, I felt like, it wasn't a terrible game, but I felt like it truly took a step back, and then nowadays, I come into it and it's like, oh, that's right, that was a bad game, and I play it and I'm like, oh, it's not too bad, you know what I mean?
It's because open world is like the norm now.
Yeah, and I think it's also because I'm not walking into it and I haven't built it up terribly in my mind as well.
Yeah, I'm with you. If I hated it the first time but beat it to completion on the PS3 and thought, all right, we'll give it another go for $9, it was still as fun as when I beat it on the PS3 pretty much. Just a few little bonus DLCs in vehicles, and I think they updated the audio. That's all I could really tell the difference.
Actually, you might as well give us a bit, because you haven't been on since before E3, so we'll have a chat to you about what you thought about E3 and everything like that, especially because you seem like a bit more of a retro gamer than a new age gamer, so a lot of my friends are like, oh, E3 doesn't really bother me because it's all brand new, but we'll get to that. But what have you been doing since last time you were on the show? Any new mad buys? Or
not really in terms of big buys. Actually, I'll lie there. Just that.
Don't we all to our partners?
What came in the mail yesterday was one of those Pandora arcade boards.
Oh,
it's got like the 2,600 games on it. Like I don't have the room for a big cabinet. I would love it, but this, you just plug it in straight to the TV, HDMI. It lights up. It's a Ninja Turtles one.
Tell me how it goes. I've been watching them for a while because I'm very similar. I've got an arcade machine, but I can't even fit it in my gaming room at the moment. I'm like, oh, damn, where am I going to put it? But then Pandora box, there's multiple different ones, but...
Yeah, same sort of thing.
Yeah.
But is the gameplay good on them? Because all on those third-party ones, like half the games aren't legit on them as well, which is probably something to note for our audience. But how are you finding it, like gameplay-wise? So,
well, the two games I played yesterday was Turtles Arcade and Turtles in Time, and they both ran perfectly. I had no issues with it. Like, you push the button and it gives you more credits. It all worked pretty well. The joystick seems good quality as well. And just what I loved about it is the certain board that I purchased, because you get like the Street Fighter board, you get a few others. Well, this was the Turtles one. So the lights on the side, they light up with the colors of the turtles. So you got your blue, your orange, your red, and your purple.
Yep.
It's pretty sick. I wasn't expecting that.
And the good thing about that is you can just pick it up, you put it in your game, and whether you've got a big shelf or anything like that, and it looks good, it can go there and it's done. Like, you don't have to have it out like an arcade machine taking up a big giant corner. Like, I'm trying to set up a gaming room, I'm doing a renovation, but it will be a lot of shelves. So I'm going to get out all my collectibles, because I got some the Final Fantasy Kai arts and stuff like that, and I'll put it all up there. But with that Pandora's box, you can actually put it up and it looks like it's part of the collections.
Yeah, no, it looks sick. It's well done.
No, I like that.
Because, like, going back to your original question with the E3, like, they announced the Turtles cabinet from Game 1-Up, and that's something I do want, but it's like, where do I put it right now?
Yeah. About E3, so what was your favourite game release coming out? And if you say Final Fantasy, I'm hanging up now. Just going to put that out there straight away.
It's not going to be Final Fantasy.
Thank God for that. I can breathe easier now. Steve, we don't need you, mate. You're done.
Done.
Well, initially, EB sent me an email saying that you could trade in some of your games. Because I'm a level 4 member, I get quite a high value trade value, and they were having like this 2 times bonus. So as I was telling you, Steve, I went in and I took all my sporting games from like 2015 upwards. I think I got like $105, and I put like 50 towards Luigi's Mansion 3, 50 towards Zelda, Link's Awakening. Yeah. Now, I wasn't too fussed about the collector's edition with like the steelbook, because that's not really my thing. I just want to play the game.
The collector's edition does look pretty good, though.
It does.
I've been looking at it, and I just keep going, yeah, is the missus going to kill me? Or like, it looks good. But
we talked about Luigi's Mansion. What do you think? You reckon, is that the type of gameplay that you would play these days? Is it nostalgia getting you? Like, do you reckon it will be something that you'll platinum, like 100% it, or?
To be honest, I just try and beat the game. If I can get to that point where I'm getting 100%, then I will go the extra distance. But I'm just there to beat the game, have fun, and then try and move on.
Yeah. I was saying to Michael, it depends on what they do, like an older school game where it's actually harder and you can't just burn through it all in one afternoon, like some games that have came out, like Resident Evil and stuff, where it's only got like a 7-hour campaign. I might keep chugging along, because it's definitely a game that I might play with my kids. But it probably wouldn't be one where I'll find myself sitting there late at night playing it, streaming it, stuff like that. I don't know. I just feel like that type of gameplay, I'm definitely more of a nostalgic, older style than new. But that's saying that now. I'll probably still buy it.
Well, we still have time to change our mind if we don't want to get Luigi's Mansion, because that's the beauty of EB games. You can move it on to something else as well.
Yes.
And that's why I like going to them, because they'll price match as well. I'm not just stuck at their pre-order price. If it comes down and something else comes out that's going to be cheaper, like just say your Target or your Big W or your JB, you say that I've got my pre-order, but I paid it in full, but we're going to bring it down to this price, and let's put the rest of it onto some other games that I might want in the future.
Yeah, we'll keep talking, but I'll probably come back to that, because that's going to be one thing that I do want to talk about is pre-orders. That was something that was big. We might talk about it as the page suggestion, actually, because someone mentioned it on the page a fair bit, and I thought I'd talk to you guys about it. But we'll
No
come back
worries.
to that.
Just cut him off. It's all good. Don't worry. That's good.
All right, I'll start talking then.
In terms of
Okay.
anything else that I've been doing, I just started this week. I was playing Detroit Becomes Human.
Is that any good?
Yeah, like I enjoyed Beyond Two Souls, which
Yep.
was from the same company.
Yep.
I don't know if you played that, but it's like
No, I did. I saw a lot about it because you're. Well, I'll let you explain it before I just randomly guess at it.
so you're an android, or you play as like a few different androids, and you pretty much play as them walking through the scene. So it's like an interactive movie, pretty much.
Yeah.
You
Sort of like
just
a
gotta-
Telltales, or I'm looking at the gameplay here, so it doesn't look like the Telltales, but
No, it doesn't
similar.
look like the Telltales, but you've got options and what you want to do, and it's hard to explain. You've got to play the game. Like I was playing it with my wife, and she was enjoying it as well.
Yeah.
How did you find this wife that's a gamer, by the way? You mentioned it on the first podcast, and now you mentioned that you're playing a game with her again.
To be honest,
how?
I
Struck
got
gold.
lucky. I got lucky.
I had my missus playing Zelda: Link to the Past, and that's where it stopped. She just didn't want to play it anymore. So she says, "Yeah, you go do your podcasty thing or game thingy. I don't care. Just leave me alone." I'm like, okay, no problem.
Don't worry, you got compromised there.
That's it. Steve, you're at hard at thought.
I'm actually trolling through EB Games. I'm already $160 deep.
Oh, jeez.
I don't even know what I'm doing here. Well, they got a lot of half price sales on. It's just ridiculous. Why am I doing this? Sorry.
No, you're right.
Yeah, but no. All right. Well, sounds like you've been a busy boy. Well, might as well kick on and say, what did you think about E3?
E3, I thought it was pretty good. Like, I was expecting a lot of the games, like what Cyberpunk, we found that out ages ago. Luigi's Mansion, that was new. Link's Awakening, we've known about it. Excited for Watch Dogs 3. I'm a fan of the series. I hated the first one when it first came out. It was just like, I'd just beaten GTA 5 on the PS3, and then you're coming across to this, and I'm like, what is this? It was very dark and it was very slow paced.
It was a bit slower. That's what I was right about to say. Like GTA 5, you can just be in their face. Like it was a bit slower paced than what I was playing at the same time as well. But
And then I hesitate.
How?
Let me
Watch
get back
Dogs
to that.
one.
Let me get back to this. Then I hesitated with Watch Dogs 2. I waited till it dropped down to like $30 and picked it up at EB Games. And then I fell in love with the series. It just all clicked. And then this is a game I actually platinum trophied on the PS4 because I absolutely loved it.
yep.
Then I decided to go back and play Watch Dogs. Now it didn't have as many features as number 2, but it all clicked, and I absolutely loved the game.
Yeah, look, I reckon it was an amazing game. The concept of it, of the hacking, I just thought the whole thing was amazing. I didn't get anywhere near platinum because I don't know, I'm not that good. But the game itself is fantastic. I really can't wait for number 3. Number 3 will be, I reckon, amazing.
That's the game I'm looking forward to the most, probably.
Steve, see, no Final Fantasy there, mate.
No, fair enough.
But yeah, no, definitely. Watch Dogs definitely going to be a big hitting game when it comes out. So definitely can't wait for it. All right. So out of all the things, just Watch Dogs was the main one that you picked up. Nothing else.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Watch Dogs. There was probably something else, but go through a few games for me. What do you remember? You talked about it in like 3 podcasts. You've got to know some games.
I did not sleep that whole time, right? I was doing the podcast and then reviewing all the new information, making sure that I was up on the content. It was just massive. And then watching the 3-hour streams, for their events, I'm just like, mind you, working at the same time. So it was quite constructive by my part, I thought. The big one, Zelda, Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening.
Yeah. They're probably the main ones. Bessie, I really didn't enjoy. I know a lot of people saying Doom looks pretty good. I still reckon the original Doom looks better than that, but that's my opinion.
The original or 2016?
No. The original, not 2016. Yeah, I think the other main ones that I picked up from there. Oh, and of course, Steve's Steve's beloved Final Fantasy.
You forgot your favorite one again, Michael.
Oh, Star Wars. Hey, I was actually there's actually an update coming. I was going to talk about Star Wars coming out on the online, the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, or the Old Republic, I think it's called. They're releasing a new update in September, which looks pretty sick too. The Sith at the back, and they're fighting again between the Jedi and the Sith, or the Sith Empire and the, what do you call it? The Republic.
That's
I'm a big
PC
Star Wars
game.
fan. Yeah.
Yep.
So I play that online, so I've played that for years. But no, really good game.
They've been going since 2000 and something, yeah?
Yeah.
Like early 2000s. Oh, wow.
Well, I originally played the Galaxies one before that, and I thought that was quite good. But
Galaxies.
yeah, so Star Wars Galaxies, it's the exact same, well, similar. They've got a lot of the same mechanics as they've got now, but that was before the Old Republic. And it came out in... Release date was 2011, by the way.
Really? 2011?
I thought it was earlier.
Yeah.
No. So it was released on the 20th of December 2011. But no, really good game. I love the storyline. You do have to level up quite heavily in the game, which is probably why they try and get you to pay for things. But the actual game you can play yourself, but it's just a lot of hours.
Yeah, Jedi Academy, that was my jam.
Yeah, but that's like a first-person shooter.
Yeah, but that's what I like.
Yeah, see? Mate, go back with the Fortnite.
No chance.
There is no difference. No, look, it was okay, but it was a first-person shooter, so I'm not a fan of that. I like the new Star Wars game coming out. That was the one that I forgot before, Steve. Just to...
And last podcast.
Yeah. All right, cool. So that is actually one of the favourite ones, but yeah.
But did you see what Disney's done?
Yeah, they're turning it down.
I knew they would. When Disney was buying Fox or whatever it was, I was like, the only thing that I disapprove about Disney is they have very strict rule sets, and like Deadpool, Venom, all that kind of stuff where they're R-rated. I was like, oh, Disney's not going to be a big fan of that. They have always, there's big stuff online, people always blowing up about it. I'm like, oh, they're not going to like that. How are they going to merge it into their world? Because that's what we liked about the Deadpools and that. It's the darker, the gritty. Like, I didn't like the most recent Wolverine, like literally I think it was just called Wolverine, the final one.
You didn't like that one?
I get confused with all the names for the Wolverine movies. I've seen one where they're talking about a wolf on the mountain and the moon.
Be careful what you're doing right now.
No. I love all Marvel.
I'm gonna get sensitive. I like
I like Wolverine too. I love X-Men, but with them choice of titles, like just at least if it's Star Wars Episode 1, bang. Star Wars Episode 2, bang. You know exactly what you're watching. I go the other day to my partner, I'm like, oh, I want to go through and watch them in order. And I'm like, oh, hang on, which one do I watch it in first? Which one's first?
It's quite difficult to keep because even like they actually admitted, like they tried to, how would you word it, like multiverse, it's not all perfectly together. So it's not like the Marvel, like really Marvel Cinematic, they done it perfectly. Like that Kevin Feige, or however you want to pronounce his name, he sat down and planned out a decade worth of movies, and it's just boom, 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 and he truly done that nicely. X-Men, man, I grew up with X-Men. It was
I've got the whole cartoon collection.
Yeah, like
it's my favourite one. Like besides Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z, they're the top probably 3.
Yeah, it depends on what mood I'm in, but like Gambit and Wolverine, 2 of my all-time favourite. There was supposed to be a Gambit movie. Channing Tatum was going to star him. I don't know whether he could do it, but yeah, I'd still be keen on anything really. But the final Wolverine, I don't know. They made him withered pretty bad. Like, it depends on which comic world you want to follow. I know he ended up getting poison from the adamantium and blah blah blah, and they finally killed him off not long ago. They said it's going to be the final time they actually kill him off. But yeah, I think the girl was obviously in the comics. I can't even think of her name. Nah, gone.
No.
She with the 2 blades per hand.
Yeah.
She was sort of like his disciple or something in the comics. I really liked it. I thought they could have done more on that, like let them build up on that relationship. But I want an X-Men game.
Yeah, no, definitely. See, I prefer an X-Men game over the Spider-Man game.
Well, I like the Spider-Man game because I want Venom and Carnage.
Play the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that was great. You come up against like the 4-armed Venom. They had all the symbiotes in there. Oh, it was glorious. It was glorious.
Very
There's
good
some
with your
fun
words
games.
there, mate, as well.
I can't think of anything tonight. I'm missing everything.
Well, we're talking about movies on a gaming podcast. I love it.
We eventually came back there.
Yeah.
Now, what was the question we started with?
I've moved on because you were trying to talk dirty about Wolverine.
No, yeah, okay. Anyway, I'm just going.
Nah, we're talking about how R-rated would happen in the Disney world.
Ah, yeah. Well, look, they got Jar Jar Binks. Like, if there's any character you'd love to hate, you hate Jar Jar Binks. But
The dismemberment or the lack of dismemberment for me, I'm like, oh, come on. They gave all 9 movie rights to Lego. Upsetting.
I actually went to EB this week and I was talking to the guy there, and he was going, "Oh, but they're releasing a new Star Wars game," and I'm like, "Yeah, the new one on EA," and he's like, "No, but also Lego," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Can you just not say anything anymore now? Like, we're done." I'm walking away. I go, 9 movie rights to Lego.
Yeah, like, oh.
I feel the same way.
Like, you look at the quality of what they're bringing out. Could you imagine if they turned around and said, "Go, here's all 9 movies, just create it, make it," like, of course, with the games, you don't have to have it so massive. You can set it up like a shortened version of the cinematics and everything like that, make it a trilogy game. I don't know, but you could have just made it absolutely epic. But like the Lego, I got the Jurassic Park Lego, and it's got Jurassic Park 1, 2, 3, Jurassic World. I play that with me daughters just solely because they want to game with their dad. They want to have fun with their dad. But I was just like, man, give me like that, a game of Jurassic Park in absolute awesome fashion, whether it's a first person or a third person shooter. I don't care. Just give me something. Stop signing all the, like, do they buy the licensing for good money? Is that why they keep doing it? Or is it just a constant cash cow? Or they stuck in a contract they had to maintain?
I reckon there's just marketing for the kids.
And that, yeah, like, is that truly what it is? They believe they've got a higher selling market to kids than what they do for adults.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the Harry Potter was all the Lego too.
I don't mind buying Lego and playing with the Lego, but not the game.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Talking about Lego, have you actually seen how expensive that stuff
Here
is?
we go. Actually, it is really expensive. It's, yeah.
Oh, it's super expensive.
Speaking of Lego, I just recently bought the Flintstones house in Lego set.
Oh, man.
I thought that was pretty exciting.
Yeah. One of my mates, he is a he's just a collector. He sends me pictures of a pinball machine he's doing up, and then he sends me a picture of whatever. He is an electrician, but he's sort of like an electrical engineer now, and he loves electronic. Now he's into Lego, but the real high-end version. And he just sent me a photo the other day. He bought it $600 or something, the kit cost, but they actually deem them as full collectors. Like, you keep the box, keep the manual, and they actually go up in price. Like, they're pretty sought after by collectors if you maintain their quality for the years. And he must have a big freaking house, because I don't know how he fits it all in. Even he's told me that now him and his missus have to park their cars out in the driveway because they can't put the cars in the garage anymore. It's all full of his arcade machines, pinball machines. Constantly, I've got him hunting for a Indiana Jones pinball machine. I want to get it for my dad's 65th birthday, but I don't know whether I'll make it in time or not. And also, I got to freaking remortgage a house to afford it. They're a couple of $1,000, but
why are you buying it for your dad? Okay, you're buying it really for you, but you're gonna say, "Here, Dad, I got you this." Do you feel guilty?
I've got room at my house to keep it for you. I'll take care of it. That's the one game that I don't know whether you've ever read the Final Fantasy VII review. He's smashed a couple of my consoles over the years. That's the one game he's ever talked about. I see you message my phone then, Michael. I see that. It's on silent.
Well, I thought you were a deep rant. I thought it's a perfect time, and he's actually put on silent.
Yep, it got me from before. No, it's one of the only games that you could say that he'll ever actually stop and play. He's of that age where it's like pinball machines, pool tables, ping pong, stuff like that. So, yeah.
Ping pong, are we talking Thailand or ping pong, like ping pong the game?
Oh, I did see that when I was competing over there.
Were you competing, were you, mate? Anyway. So, Steve, enough. What are you doing? What have you been doing gaming?
I have been YouTubing a fair bit of Final Fantasy VII, actually. I have young fellas been playing with me. I'm trying to convince me daughters, but I've only got them 50-50. So by the time I have them, it's very difficult to get into an RPG like this. But my partner's son, she's got him pretty much 100% of the time. So he's always watching and loves just sitting next to me. Sometimes I have the PC started with YouTube on it, and I have my PlayStation going, and he just literally sits there and listens, and then we'll swap, and he plays, and I listen, and it's also, not only is it fun, but it's also the bonding. Like, it's good to pass on down to the next generation of gamers, really, and the game's still magical. It's just some of the sounds. Like, there are times when I'm like, come on, let's do this. Like, let's speed up the pace of the battles, etc., etc. Like, turn-based, I do have my would I say qualms? It's just...
This is the favourite game. He's going to have a qualm. Yeah.
Yes, more... I want to get in, I want to get some done, and then I want to get off. Beg your pardon. But I just want to. I don't.
I'm like, that sounds familiar. I've heard you. Anyway.
I just don't have the time for the grind like I used to. The good thing is the going for the date with Barrett. It's given me something to aim for. Like, I'm pretty sure I got the date with him back when I was young. It might have been Yuffie. I can't remember. I remember getting, obviously, because he always was Eris or Tifa. They were the two. Most of the time it was always Eris. You had to sort of really lean towards Tifa to get her. So it was very difficult to get Yuffie or Barrett. But, yeah, now that I'm chasing that, it's given me something to do, and like, let's face it, this will probably be the last playthrough I do of that game for a long time. Like, it's.
Are you nearly finished?
Nah. I'm just a junior, or I've just gotten to Costa del Sol, so like, I could finish it. I normally, by the time I get to Sephiroth, I'm around 50, 55, I think, maybe level 60, and I take him with the team I arrive in. I barely, because during the final battle you can swap out your people. I barely ever do that. I actually beat him with the 3 that I rock up with, so I'm normally pretty OP for by the time I get there. But yeah, I've still got a good 40 hours to go. I'll definitely still be playing it by next podcast, that's for certain. So.
40 hours to go, mate, nah. Look, I've watched the streaming of that, besides getting the YouTube emails saying that something we're doing is wrong, but that's another story for another day. Yeah, I couldn't do turn-based anymore. I'm really done with turn-based. Next.
I think because I grinded at the start, I'm a bit OP, so I can actually just play through the game. Like, the game is truly all about the story. Like the storyline and everything like that. Like, yes, it's a bit glitchy and there are holes. That's why I'm hoping in the remake they really throw in Advent Children, Crisis Core, all that, even before and after it, Dirge of Cerberus, and even before that, well before that, it's the mobile game they brought out only in Japan with the original Avalanche. Like, I hope they really merge all that in there and just fill it and just have it as glory. So we'll wait and see. But no, this one, yeah, loving it. I've been playing a little bit of Need for Speed with the young fella. Whenever he wants a battle, we play some Need for Speed. I was gonna get Crash Bandicoot Racer. I don't know whether it's out yet or not, but that's the one that I want to get.
It is out, and it was actually, I went to get it the other day, and it was actually sold out. I'm like,
oh, really?
Yeah, yep, sold out. So
yeah, I just want to get something like that. He loves. He's completely opposite of me. He loves sports games. He gets every single FIFA every single year. Yep. I can't do FIFA. I used to love Mario Tennis.
Okay, so I just posted on Facebook, guys, a picture of Steve recording episode 8 of the podcast. Steve feels a little. So there's a photo of Steve there.
Anyway. Steve feels a little poop.
That's it.
But no, I used to love Mario Tennis because you used to, depending on what character you had, you could do like build up the shots and everything like that. I used to heavily enjoy them, but when you went to the full sports games, it's not for me. And but he loves them, and so obviously I still jump in and play him. He's mad keen on Need for Speed and FIFA.
Play with him. It's good.
Yeah, no, I do. I'll
tell you now the last sports game that I played. Now wait for it. Aussie Rules Footy
on the NES.
Yeah.
Out of balance on the full.
No. That's it. Amazing game. I loved it. So much fun. And
it's a good game.
Yeah, and that's my sporting career over. I thought I was going to be in the AFL, but I found a thing called KFC and Macca's, wasn't it, Steve?
Was that before or after California Games?
It would have been after.
Yeah.
California Games is still to this day.
1991 came out.
I thought California Games. Oh, is that before that? Oh, yeah, probably would have been.
So.
Yeah, 91. I thought 94 for some reason, but it wasn't. It was before that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
1987 initial release date.
Yep. Yeah, no, California Games for me was that's.
You just love the shark when you're surfing.
Yeah. Because what was it? It was surfing, roller skate.
Skateboard.
You had the skateboard, the half ramp.
The half ramp, yeah.
Hacky sack?
Yeah, you did have hacky sack.
Oh, no, was there discus? You used to have a frisbee.
It was a frisbee game as well.
That's right, yeah. I sucked at that one. I still to this day don't know how you're supposed to play the frisbee one. No, that's really been my gaming week, is probably heavily Final Fantasy and catching up on watching some anime.
Okay.
You gotta be careful with that anime, mate.
No, Demon Slayer. It's been perfect. What about yourself?
All right, so I've been playing Grand Theft Auto 5. I've moved on from the strippers.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my partner. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. See, I was gaming with my partner then. That was the only time, and I love the Aussie Rules Footy. I was actually playing that as well the other day. You pick 2 teams. So there's I think white and blue.
Yeah.
White and green, bluey green, whatever. That was good. I haven't really done a lot of gaming, which is really sad. Because Grand Theft Auto just takes up so much of your time. I'm still trying to 100% it. I'm sitting at about 68%. So I'm getting there. I really want to try and complete it fully, so get 100% on it, but it's just massive. Yeah, that was basically it. Then just looking on the page. So, Steve, when did you take a photo of your garage today, by the way?
You reckon that's my garage or what?
You're unorganised, so that's why I went, yep, definitely Steve's garage.
I definitely wouldn't be sitting here talking to you guys if it was. Be off gaming. For anyone who didn't see the photo, it's a photo. I don't even know where it is, but it's a photo of a garage, and it has hundreds of well, not hundreds, but tens upon tens of PS1s. What do we got in there? Dreamcast, Sega Mega Drives. Oh, just pop. It looks like it's under a house. It looks like it's in someone's basement.
So it's not your garage.
No, definitely not mine. If that was mine, I'd be like, just that box of Dreamcast would be worth a fortune.
There's a game store I went to in Philadelphia. It's called the Game Junkie. Now the owners, they allowed me and my wife to go downstairs into the basement area, and it's just full of games, consoles. I don't know if you've ever seen the Game Chasers. They actually go downstairs into this game place on YouTube.
Oh,
you ever watched them?
Nah.
No. So pretty much it's a massive store full of games, full of everything, all retro stuff, all new stuff. But down below, it's just pretty much that image is what it reminded me of.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, there's a couple of consoles there, definitely. What else was I playing? A bit of Mario Kart on the Switch. Yeah, no, nothing. I think that was it. I've been quite relaxed with it. Mind you, I'd still bought those Watchdog games last week. I still haven't played both of them, even though the third one looks really good. I still haven't gone back just because of Grand Theft Auto 5.
I haven't even opened God of War yet either.
Oh, that looks like a good game, but anyway.
You're
It's
missing out
on
on
the
that
dark
one.
side.
I'll definitely get to it as soon as I'm finished my playthrough. That's for certain.
I reckon I'll be retiring and he'll still be going, yeah, now I'm going to... Which land were you going to? Or which part of the land?
I'm at Costa del Sol at the moment.
Yeah, see. I'm just leaving Costa del Sol at the moment. Yeah, good work, mate. Keep going. You'll be right.
I'm actually doing pretty well. For amount of gaming I'm sneaking in at the moment.
No, that's it. It's all good. All right, what else did you want to bring up, Steve? You pushed something back before?
Well,
it was, pre-orders, don't you remember?
I've got one person. Well, actually, that's a lie. Not one person. A couple of certain brothers. One is a streamer for us, and they carry on about. They're very, very active about their beliefs for anything, and it's. I've known them. Like, I got to start with some backstory. I've known one of them since were we in preschool? Yeah, like literally my whole life I've known him, and he was my age. The older one was my older brother's age, and we always grew up together. We're childhood friends of the last 25 plus years. But it's always coming up about pre-orders, about EA and loot boxes and microtransactions, and it's very funny to see other people's beliefs. Like I was talking to my partner tonight, even about her belief in some things, because and the more I look into it, you can really tell the difference between someone's beliefs and someone's career beliefs. Like myself, I'm an electrician. I'm in a union. The one of the brothers who's my friend, he's an electrician in a union. His older brother is an electrician in a union, but the younger one who streams for us isn't. He's like a contractor. He works for himself. It's very cutthroat. You gotta backstab other contractors. You gotta do work for free. You gotta do overtime for free. And our standpoint, and even yourself, Michael, you are more in retail. You've grown up in retail. My partner, she's from retail, where you don't get lunch breaks. You got to work a salary, overtime. You don't get paid for it. You got to stay back and count the till, even though you're not getting paid to count the freaking till. These companies are the ones making all the money while they're paying you absolute base wage. And it because of the lifestyle we all live, all of our beliefs are very, very similar to what we work with. Like for me and the two brothers who are electricians, we're always trying to stand up for each other, stand up for our rights in the workplace. So then when we come to gaming, we're like, look what it's doing. This is ruining gaming. We need to stamp this out. And the oldest brother, his wife is a child psychologist. So she sees a lot of the problems that even a lot of people don't think about. The gambling side of things with the loot boxes. And it's very, like, even all the studies they do about how predatory it is, because there's a reason why they've got gambling age at a certain age, because you haven't actually, but yeah, and even she talks to him about like why there's legal ages in gambling, because you have, like, children haven't created, there's multiple different diversities to it, like, but they haven't really created the mindset or the mentality and the, whatever you want to call it, the cortex, to be able to handle the emotional. She, obviously, there's a reason why I'm an electrician and she's a psychologist. But
Clearly.
like, yeah, but to handle the emotional pain of not being allowed this thing, and then it also stems into the playground with bullying. I've got the better skin on Fortnite. I've got the better this. I've got the better that. Some people will then sit back, depending on their mentality, will say, "Oh yeah, but that was around when we were in school. We had better shoes than that person. We had better clothes than that." Kids will always find a way to bully them over something, and they turn a blind eye to it. Yes, kids are pieces of beep. I know they are. I was bullied heavily. Most gamers were bullied heavily.
I'll have one comment. A quick one, just mid-rant. Did you say flashing lights? Where? Let me go. That's it. Flashing lights, gambling, pokies. I'll go. Okay. I haven't got a problem. Clearly. Hang on, I'll be back in a sec, guys.
And that's another thing. A lot of other people, when they just want to really fob it off, turn around and say, well, it's the parents' fault for letting the kids have access to the credit card, or it's the parents' fault for this, parents' fault. And
mistake number one. Give them the credit card.
It's very similar to the parents' fault for letting the kids access the beer in the house. They're always going to try to dabble in things, but it's something that we can stop. That's how I look at it. Like, yes, we could turn around and stop a lot of things in our world, but this is solely a predatory action to pry on young kids of their money. They no longer sell the game for $100, make their money and move on and create the next game. They want to get their billions of dollars by taking advantage of kids who don't understand the differences. And I know a lot of people say, oh, but like, especially the pay to win, like, and this is where our differences are. Like, pay to win terribly, terribly upsets me. I go off the walls about pay to win, because I put in 500 hours into a game and someone spends $100 and they stomp me. I get terribly upset about that. I don't get as upset about the pay to, not the pay to play, but the sort of in the PvE world, skins, cosmetics, stuff like that. I was like, well, as long as it's not going to affect my gameplay, then I don't care. But after talking to my friend and obviously his wife about the difficulties that they're having in society now with this gambling aspect, I'm like, yeah, geez, she's actually got a good point. Like, just because it doesn't affect me doesn't mean it's not affecting millions of children out in the world and parents. Like, I shouldn't turn a blind eye.
Observance, really. You need to be watching what they're doing if you're saying that your kids have got issues, right? Loot box thing is ridiculous because it's all randomized. You're not guaranteed to get something. That part I find ridiculous. However, again, like I've said before in previous podcasts, if you're not paying to get the game, well, then how is the supplier going to get paid? So there is going to be things that you buy on, so add-ons or whatever, or premium content or whatever like that. The PvP, I don't really play those games anyway, so they don't really affect me as much. But I just can't sit there and go, okay, PvP is bad because all you have to do is pay $100. In saying that, it's still a game, okay? We had a comment on Facebook regarding inappropriate comments. So we had a comment on Facebook regarding anime about how the characters are dressed or what they're not wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? It goes to the same sort of thing. If you're going to make your kid watch it or play it, we'll know about it first. Same like with the credit card. Don't give them the credit card. Like, clearly, it's just a common sense thing. Like, I know. And regardless if the kid feels bad or not, they're going to grow up and go, like, it won't affect them like that you're saying it will. I don't think it's that big an emphasis. Maybe at the time it can be really big. But
No, there is actually statistics showing there is spikes in child suicide because of loot boxes and skins and cosmetic. It is a form of child gambling that is actually getting the attention of the psychology worldwide. And that there is a stat that most people don't know because they turn around and say, oh, well, just keep the credit card off the kid. And that's the problem because a lot of kids, and that's the problem. And if you don't know it, then it normally doesn't affect you. And it's definitely not a widely talked about thing. And a lot of gamers put their head in the sand too. Like you watch TV, they talk about the negative side of Fortnite. I don't find Fortnite to be a negative thing. They're talking about addiction and gameplay addiction, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'd rather be addicted to a computer than friggin' drugs and calories and all that, and booze and gambling and all that kind of stuff. So if that's what they're playing, that's what they're playing. But the other side of it is I feel like in my mind, because I'm an adult and I can make that conscious decision, I say to myself, you know what, I haven't bought this game, so I've got $100 to spend, and that's it. After I've spent $100, I will not spend another cent on this game, and that's what I'm going to buy as I go. That is fair enough for me, but that is me as a 33-year-old person who works for a pretty big company. I'm an electrician, so I'm actually one of the highest paid trades of Australia. I'm doing pretty well for myself. I can afford that kind of thing. But then there's parents out there who struggle when it comes to the tooth fairy. The tooth fairy has to give the kid $10.
$10 for a tooth? That's ripped off.
There's kids. There's
one or two.
Yeah,
that's it. I was ripped hard.
There's kids at my daughter's school who are getting $10, $20 from the tooth fairy. Yeah, for a molar.
Jeez.
Yeah, and
Wow.
meanwhile, my daughter's getting about $1, and then I'm taxing that because it's dad tax, and I take 20%. Just because she's got to learn that life's never fair, and we move on. And
life's never fair.
That's.
I think personally, with your comments, Steve, you've delved in quite deep with the repercussions of loot boxes and that. And look, and I do agree. Maybe I reckon they should probably get rid of loot boxes personally, but I do agree still with the add-ons or the DLCs that come out that you do pay for.
Yeah,
that's the ones that I don't mind because they've given you extra content. You can get something out of it if you want to buy it.
I like that. I get upset sometimes over a game that is rushed out and they've got day one DLCs, or they're only brought out with one map and you have to buy map packs and stuff, because it used to, look at games that we grew up on. You didn't, like Mario 64, you didn't download a DLC only 6 months later. I can go and put Ocarina of Time into the N64, turn it on, and guess what? I'm playing the game.
Hang on, wasn't there an update for Ocarina of Time
when they brought out
in
the
Japan?
patch?
In Japan, I'm pretty sure there was.
Well, luckily I'm not Japanese then.
Well, I'm just capitalising on the thing. I'm pretty sure there was an updated version of Ocarina of Time.
Of course, and these days they are making it, but let's look at when they were brought out compared to now.
No, originally they don't. Yeah, that's right.
Final Fantasy VII had a music glitch, and that's probably the other side of the coin. Gamers are a lot more picky now. We used to get a game and we accepted it for what it was and we played it and we moved on when we were finished. Now it's like, oh, this music's bad, this game is bad, this needs fixed, and we'll definitely complain a hell of a lot more. So I understand when publishers and developers try to be more active and fix things. Yeah, I don't know. It's a very double-edged sword of how far do you go? How far do you let a publisher go before you draw the line? My standpoint, very similar to yours. DLCs, etc., I'm willing to pay for. But my friend, he is, no way. I'm not going to even buy that game. not gonna, and he's very, very trapped with what he has to play these days because everyone's doing it. I don't know whether we can come back from it. I know they are EA. Obviously, I rant on about them nearly every podcast.
They're our number one sponsor.
I made my public disclosure about them last week that I'll stop picking on them when they stop selling out the gaming industry, but they're getting in a lot of trouble worldwide for what they're doing. And then they turned around the other day and tried saying their loot box, it's not called a loot because obviously the loot boxes are banned. So they're trying to turn around and say, oh no, they're not loot boxes, they're mystery giveaways or surprise giveaways. And that's
but
how
you have to pay for it.
Yes.
A surprise giveaway. Well, we do. I want to do those surprise giveaways on our page.
Yeah,
that sounds like a good idea. You pay me, and we'll give you something. I'm not going to disclose what it is, but yeah, you'll get something. A picture of Steve in a poop suit. That's crazy.
I love opening the floor up to this discussion because it's especially retro gamers. Go and plug me Nintendo 64 in, off I go. And we're all smoking our pipe, and we're like, take off my bifocal and like hop down from my horse, and while I'm judging everyone with my gavel. But it's life. Life is changing, and can we stop the flow? I don't know. Look at mobile gaming. That's not what I want to become.
I reckon mobile gaming is worse loot boxes.
Well, mobile gaming, that's where it started. Mobile gaming is what consoles will become if we allow it. Look at mobile gaming only 10 years ago. That is truly... but that's truly where it started from. They pay 99 cents or get it for free, and then you pay per level and stuff. It started with mobile gaming, and the mobile gaming industry realized the sort of money that was coming in, and everyone's just trying to capitalize on it. And that's the one thing that I get nervous about. If we let them have just free reign, will we in 10 years' time be sitting back and consoles are like mobile gaming?
But you know what, just before I let actually James have his opinion on this as well, but we can stop it if we are actively not pursuing it. So if people weren't playing Fortnite, obviously the game's fun because it's like they're getting how many hours on YouTube every day playing Fortnite. So okay, there may be a select few that this does affect, that where they are paying, but the majority, you got to look at the majority as well. You can't just go to these small
minorities.
Yeah, the small minorities. Look, you can't judge everything by just a small minority. Okay, we were talking on our page regarding headsets at EB. Okay, the Turtle Beach, right? One of the guys on the page says that they weren't very good. However, you swear by them, and you've used them for years. So it's a very big. It's an opinion. It's not really. I think if you don't want to support it, don't buy it. That's it. Buy something else. And same for the loot boxes, same for the DLCs. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. If you don't buy it. And then that's it. And
admittedly, that is his standpoint, as in he won't buy the game. And that's it. Me, on the other hand, I used to play Fortnite. I never bought a cosmetic. I never bought a skin. I just played it until you become... It was more of a town builder, and you just had to build yourself up into a really high rise of timber and stone. Then I stopped because it was no longer a shooter game. It was just got too hectic. But maybe you weren't that good. we got a couple of chicken dinners on there, mate. We got a couple of chicken dinners.
Anyway, enough about you and me. James, what do you reckon?
My thoughts on loot boxes, like, they're there. I'm not going to buy them. They're just skins. If I'm there to earn them in like achieving something, then yeah, they're there. Like Overwatch, for example, you'd play a few rounds, you'd get a crate, a loot box crate, but I'm not going to buy it. what's the point? I don't see the point. With kids, maybe it's because I don't have kids of my own and I'm not seeing what repercussions that's having. But I'm not going to give them my credit card to buy these skins. I think what a waste of money. Yeah, like, I'm not going to not buy a game just because it has loot boxes. I just think that's crazy, in my opinion. If it's there, you don't have to use it. But when it comes to, like, for example, going back to a sports game like NBA 2K18, you had to buy virtual currency just so your player was good enough to play. Now, that's annoying. You could work your way up for ages, and it's going to take you years. But, yeah, you spend $15, you get this bunch of virtual currency, and you can make your player better. Better on field, mid-range shots, whatnot. Now, that's where I find it's annoying. But because it's like, it seems like it's a necessity to progress through the game.
That's the pay-to-win that I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying, I think, about PUBG. What was the other game you played?
Apex Legends.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. Apex Legends was exactly the same. You had skins that you could work towards, but to get the top skin, you had to play and play and play, and it was to the point where it was near impossible to get to it. But for $15, you could get it, and they had it designed that people would buy it because there was like one of my friends was, oh no, I've got it. But if you look at the hours he's played for something ridiculous, like 400, 500 hours, I can't put 400, 500 hours into a game. They'll take me a year. By then, a new skin has came out. So they've got it designed truly that it's either you sit at home and you play for 10 hours a day, or you pay $15. It is, admittedly, it is just a skin. But that character has certain different skill sets. So I haven't read whether he's OP or not. I don't know. But I don't know whether that one is very pay to win. I haven't looked into that one as much.
Yeah. I don't mind paying for DLC if it's going to expand the game experience, but it has to be good. Not like an extra 2 hours. Like, why am I paying $15 for this? If it's going to expand it and I'm going to enjoy it, then okay, I can see the reason in doing it. If it's like what you said earlier, Steve, if it's a game where they've been making it for years and there's nothing to it. I think I mentioned this on the last podcast I was in with Destiny. There was nothing to the game, and I took it back.
Yeah. Because
it's like, oh, okay, yeah, there's this pack coming out, but you got to pay this. It's like, no, I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, they did. They copped a lot of slack about that because, like, it was probably one or maybe even two DLC releases joined into the original is what you would expect out of the original game.
Exactly. It's not good enough.
No, definitely not. Because all of a sudden you're paying $200 for a game. Exactly.
But if a loot box is going to be there in the game, I'm not going to not buy it. But I'm not going to not buy the game, but I'm also not going to buy the loot box just for a skin. I don't see the value there. Okay. But with kids, I probably would not give them my credit card details for that.
No. Well,
hand to the card, mate. Go on. You'll be right.
What happened was one of my mates actually didn't know. He just literally was paying. He's got a business credit card, and his wife or his accountant was like, "Oh, what's all this?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And then he looked, and he had been sneaking in, grabbing the credit card and buying $9 here, $10 there.
Saves the credit card details anyway, so maybe that's a flaw in the system.
I don't think he was saving it just so he was extra sneaky and hiding it. But they went back over 6 months, and he had spent about $600. So and
got the skins that he wanted.
Oh, he was.
You'd be pretty upset.
Well, talking about skin, he was missing about most of his skin on his butt. That's for certain. But it is a good thing because that mate he owns a concreting business. So they said, you're going to pay me back a dollar a minute or something. So he made him come to work with him as a concreter. He's only 12, but 2 a.m. wake ups and jumping in the mud, and he made him definitely work for the money after that. But that was the side of things, and he's like, and this kid is he's in year 7. He's the Ducks of the school. He's school captain. He's a school football captain. But in his world, he is the best of the best. All kids look up to him, and all of a sudden, he's got this game where it's like everyone's like, "Oh, you don't have that skin, really?" And it started affecting his moral standpoint at school. So that's why he actually had to go against everything that meant everything to him. This is a kid who never would steal from his parents. No way would he steal from his parents. But it was just a couple of dollars. Oh, they give me $4 for tuck shop. Why wouldn't they give me $4 for this? And it went on, and the addiction got greater, and he had to keep up with it. And he spent over $5,000 in 6 months.
Well, look, in thinking about it, it's pretty amazing. Pretty scary too if that can happen. But I think I've spent probably a couple of hundred at least on Star Wars Online, and that's just the premium subscription. That's it. But I had you get bonus points that you can buy things in the cartel market and all that. But I don't even use any of that. So.
I don't care about. Well, it's not that I don't care about it. It's still painful. But I pay subscriptions for MMOs.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. That's what I pay. So
I have, and I always have for many years. But it was when, during the World of Warcraft and the Final Fantasy era, they started coming out with other MMOs that were trying to take them down, and they started bringing in the pay-to-play aspect. And people were like, "Oh, this MMO is free, no subscriptions. This is way better." But they were getting a lot more money from their payment types, and I don't know. It's definitely always a lovely heated debate, that's for certain, on the page.
It definitely is. It's nearly as good as our Xbox versus PlayStation, because everyone knows Xbox is better.
Well, we'll agree to disagree.
We're going to go to blows soon over that. All right.
Well, I got to apologise to all of our listeners for my internet, like usual. Still affecting streaming. I'm supposed to be on NBN, and I can barely even stream Final Fantasy VII. I'm not trying to hold a LAN party. I'm not trying to do anything special. I am just literally trying to put Final Fantasy VII onto Facebook Live. So thank you, NBN Co.
Another very happy customer right there.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even have NBN, mate. So I reckon you're one step up from me. I've got ADSL 1. It's that's just above the dial-up. Modem. I'm just above that.
That's the problem.
2019.
That's the problem with the NBN. It's not NBN. It is literally they've left the copper in the ground.
That's crazy.
So
I'm using my phone to even do this podcast, because my home internet will not support a podcast. It's got
any upcoming games you want to chat about? That was actually why I was on EB's website to see what's coming. But,
I've got one.
Oh, what do you got?
Wolfenstein Youngblood comes out, I believe, Thursday, Friday, I believe.
Youngblood. Is that a remake, a remaster, or is that a new one?
No, so in New Colossus 2, Blazkowicz's wife was carrying twins, and it's set pretty much 20 years or so, or 17 years into the future, and they're clearly born, so it's based in the 80s, and pretty much you got to fight against the Nazis, and you got to find Blazkowicz because he's disappeared, and you're looking for your father in Paris. And I've loved all the other games. I've beaten them all on the hardest difficulty.
Oh,
Don't ask me how I did it.
How many hours was it?
It took me forever. Like some stages, they're very short, but because I had to replay it like 100 times, because 1.5 bullets got you killed, like in real life. Sometimes even one bullet, you make one stupid decision and it's all over. But if you haven't played the series, trust me, get on it. They're all cheap now.
I actually, because you talked about the topic before was actually pre-orders. What have we bought pre-orders and what's our stance on it, right? So just to make those two brothers really happy that I'm going to mention them again.
Oh, my Lord.
I've actually pre-ordered Warcraft 3.
Okay.
I pre-ordered Warcraft 3.
Oh, see, I was hoping they're going to be upset with me.
No,
it's a good game.
I get upset with pre-orders. Like if they sell out to what they told us they would get. Like No Man's Sky, that was nowhere near what they promised it was gonna be. And that's so nowadays I normally won't do a pre-order unless it's, let's face it, Final Fantasy VII. No matter what, I'll pre-order the best of the best, and I'll probably pre-order it twice just so I've got a sealed pack and I can play a pack. The games like that. There are day one releases now that are so cheap, like Target and Big W for their $60 day one release. Normally they used to sell out, so it was always a pain in the butt, but now it's just they've normally got a fair bit of stock, so it's like pre-order for $100 or just go and pick it up on the first day for $60. Stuff it, I'll go and pick it up on the 60. Unless it's, there hasn't been a game that's came out for a long time where I'm like, damn, I have to pre-order that no matter what.
So I usually don't pre-order anymore, but because of that EB special, to get the bonus, you had to pre-order.
Yeah.
The things I'm gonna,
things
I'm already gonna buy, I find it worth it. But I don't pre-order anymore.
I do, because otherwise I forget. Because I can forget Star Wars like 2 episodes in a row. So why not just forget it a third? But no, so that's I have to have my pre-orders. So I use it on the EB app, but I can see them there, and I'm like, that's coming out soon.
Yeah, I don't know. I just I'm nowhere near. They'll probably have a rant. They'll probably get stuck in me when they listen to this podcast. But I don't know. Once again, I guess I've got my head in the sand over it. I don't like some are real critical. Oh, pre-orders are ruining the industry. You're paying them before they've released the game. That's why they never release a proper game anymore. I just don't know whether that's like if I don't pre-order it, whether that's gonna stop them because I'm gonna buy it on the first day. Like, I never actually wait for a review, which is funny because that one brother who was the most loudest advocate against it all, he has a review site that he listens to godlike. If he says, do not buy this game, that's him done. He will not buy that game. When I do a review, I don't even give it a score because it's my opinion. You can watch me play Final Fantasy VII and you're like, oh my Lord, I would rather poop in my hands and clap.
Why?
Steve's just special, mate. He really is.
But for me, I am having the best time of my life. I think it's absolute, like not only the nostalgia, but just the music and the storyline and the gameplay. I'm having the best. So there's no way I would ever listen to someone's review. He, on the other hand, is like, nah, I've searched them and I've watched all their reviews for years and I've got the connection with them. So I know if they don't like it, I don't like it. And that's him done. So he'll physically wait for a review. He will not listen to a pre-release review, and I do agree with him. There was a big thing that came out. Can't remember which game it was, but it got leaked that they were getting reviewers to sign NDAs. They would only get the game as long as they released a positive review. If they didn't do a positive review, they weren't allowed to publish it. And that's
ridiculous. I don't agree with that. There should be free press.
So it's a paid review?
Yeah, it is. It's a paid review. And if you didn't do a positive review, you had to give the game back, and that was it. That was after their advice of, if you do a bad review, we're not going to give you the game. We're not going to supply you games anymore. And a lot of game reviewing, that's their bread and butter. They have to do it. Otherwise, no one will buy their magazines. So it's sort of that, like, do we join the enemy and try to leak in, give them a 7 out of 10 instead of a 9 out of 10 like the others and bring them down that way? Or turn around and say, oh, well, you can keep your review. We're not going to review it. But it's very strife in the markets these days. It's very difficult to get a hold of a game and have open slather and say whatever you want. So he definitely is an advocate for never pre-ordering. Yeah, I'm not too...
I don't pre-order a lot. I only pre-order the ones that I know I'm going to like anyway, really. Or if it's a new series coming out and I go, oh yeah, okay, maybe it might be good. But... hang on, mechanical keyboard, here we go.
Well, I just saw on the chat someone said F Final Fantasy series turn-based poop.
That wasn't me. I didn't write anything. I agree. I agree.
I quickly just had to comment at some point. But yeah, sorry.
Aggressive.
You can. I used to be a very big fan of pre-order because it was like, I got something special and it could show that I was a big fan. I had my head in the sand, like Final Fantasy 14. I could get a Chocobo as a mount because I pre-ordered it. I could get certain things because I pre-ordered it. Like, I felt like I was supporting the company by doing it. And there are some companies that I still trust enough that I'll do that. I believe that's like obviously Square Enix, I don't believe they're selling it. I got a little nervous when I saw the DLC Chocobo materia and stuff like that, but as a whole, them and Blizzard, I really think they're still trustworthy enough where I'm not going to lose my money.
EA Games. No? You don't want to continue the rest of the slogan?
Well, you said it wrong.
What is it?
Isn't it EA Games? No, it's EA Sport. It's in the game.
Ah, Sport. EA Sport. Yeah, there we go. All right. Well, I'm done talking to you. Nice to talk to you again, James.
Nice talking to you.
Yes. Welcome.
Thank you for coming back.
All good. Happy to be back.
Truthfully, tonight was probably more of a rant because I feel like the gaming industry is still a little hungover from E3. I think I think so much content was released in 3 days, and everyone focused on it for the upcoming days and week. Yeah, it's just I feel like it was so saturated. Everyone's like, that's it. I'm going back to just casually gaming for a couple of weeks. So I just don't feel like the content is out there at the moment. Like big game releases, I don't feel like there has been. We're a little bit of a quiet stage at the moment. So hopefully by next podcast, we'll have a couple more things to talk about. Maybe some more information getting slowly released on some games. And hopefully we'll have you back soon. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, it was good. It's good.
Actually, password for the week. Ooh, what will we do?
If you do that same one again, mate.
No. I was going to say pre-order my mug.
Pre-order my mug. Yeah, I should actually do a mug with you in the poop suit. That's pretty good.
Yeah, pre-order my mug.
All right, guys. Thank you again for joining the podcast. I hope you subscribe, share it to your friends. It'll never be game over.
Gamer's got a game.
Power on.
Hey,
I like
I like it.